Good evening, everybody, and welcome to our meeting today. And at this time, I would like to call to order the regular meeting of San Bernardino International Airport Authority. Today is Wednesday, July the 24th, and it is approximately 5:02 p.m. Madam Clerk, would you please do roll call?
Certainly. Please state your name for the record. Member from the City of Colton.
Frank Navarro.
Member from the City of Loma Linda.
Dusty Rigsby.
Member from the County of San Bernardino 3rd District.
Dawn Rao.
Member from the City of Highland.
Penny Lilburn.
And member from the City of San Bernardino.
Theodore Sanchez.
And I'd also like to note for the record that Mayor Pro Tem Larry McAllen is also in the audience. Thank you.
Okay, thank you. At this time, we're going to call the closed session portion of the meeting to order. And if the attorney can read us into closed session, please.
Yes, Mr. President, we have three items on our closed session agenda. First being a pending litigation regarding a case number Hinojosa versus San Bernardino International Airport. We have the second one, Franco versus San Bernardino National Airport. And then we have a conference counsel regarding an exposure case. So a case does not yet exist in that. Those are our three items for closed session this evening.
Thank you, sir. And this time we'll adjourn to closed session. We will reconvene shortly. We will reconvene and I'll ask our attorney to read us out of closed session, please.
We have no reportable action, Mr. President.
Thank you.
Chair,
To the chair.
did you say that Mayor Tran is here? She's on her way, so I'll stay until she gets here.
And at this time, I'd like to call to order the open session of this commission, and I would like to ask Penny Lilburn to read us in the pledge.
Thank you. Please stand and join me in the pledge to our country. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Thank you.
Thank you. Madam Clerk, do we have any items to be added or deleted to today's agenda?
No, sir, we do not.
Okay, conflict of interest disclosure. Anybody have a conflict of interest to disclose? Hearing none and seeing none, if you do run across an item, make sure that the clerk knows about it and you fill out the documentation. Moving on to item G, informational items.
I have, and so now I can thank Mr. Cousineau and all staff for their support in our accounting software transition. And I'd like Mr. Cousineau to talk about a couple of the changes that are reflected in your packet due to that change. Mark?
Thank you, Mike. So during our transition from our old software to our new software, we pushed out as many invoices for payment for a check run on May 31st. Our system was basically in the process of being implemented at that point in time till about the third week of June. And then the last week of June, we spent a great deal of time and effort getting our purchases going and starting to get our invoices and getting our being able to get checks approved and everything. So for that reason, basically there's very few transactions for SBIAA for the month of June because they are either pushed back into May or they will be paid in July. And that concludes my report. We're producing checks and the system is, I think, working very well for its toddler stage.
Thank you, Mr. Cousineau. I commend you and your staff for diligently working on the system to bring to operational level. Thank you very much. Moving on to item H with commission consent items 3 through 6, I believe.
Move approval?
Second.
I'll second.
It's moved by Supervisor Rao, and I think it was Mayor Tran that did the second over there real quick. Madam Clerk?
Yes, we have a motion by Member Rao and a second by Member Lilburn. Please state your votes for the record. Member Navarro?
Yes.
Member Rigsby?
Yes.
Member Rao?
Yes.
Member Lilburn?
Yes.
Member Tran?
Yes.
And Member Sanchez?
Yes.
Thank you.
Thank you. Moving on to item I, commission action items. Item 7 is to conduct elections of president, vice president, and secretary for the San Bernardino International Airport Authority for the term commencing July 24, 2024 through June 30, 2025. This is our clerk's job to do this now.
Yes, thank you, Mayor. Good evening, Commissioners. The item before you tonight is a request to conduct elections of the President, Vice President, and Secretary for the San Bernardino International Airport Authority for the term commencing July 24th, 2024 through June 30th, 2025. It is appropriate and at the pleasure of the Commission to call for nominations and elect from the membership of the Commission to fill the offices of these 3 positions. As a reminder, we will need a motion and a second, followed by a roll call for each nomination. I would now like to ask the current seated President, Mayor Frank Navarro, to open the nominations, and it is your preference on which position you would like to start with.
Thank you. Nominations are now open. Let's open up with the secretary first. Do I hear any nominations for secretary of the commission?
I nominate Dr. Rigsby.
Do I have a second? Second by Mayor Lilburn.
Thank you. Hearing no second nomination, we have a nomination for Member Rigsby as secretary. We have a motion by Member Rao and a second by Member Lilburn. Please state your votes for the record. Member Navarro?
Yes.
Member Rigsby?
Yes.
Member Rao?
Yes.
Member Lilburn?
Yes.
Member Tran?
Yes.
And Member Sanchez?
Yes.
Thank you.
Thank you. Move on to vice president. Nominations for vice president are now open.
I nominate, I don't know what your title is, but alternating year mayor Lilburn.
I will second Mayor Lilburn's nomination for Vice
Thank you. I
President.
have a motion and a second for Mayor Lilburn to be vice president of the commission.
Thank you.
Any other nominations? Hearing none, Madam Clerk.
Thank you. For Member Lilburn as Vice President, we have a motion by Member Rigsby and a second by Member Rao. Please state your votes for the record. Member Navarro?
Yes.
Member Rigsby?
Yes.
Member Rao?
Yes.
Member Lilburn?
Yes.
Member Tramp?
Yes.
And Member Sanchez?
Yes.
Thank you.
Thank you. Moving on to the position of president. Nominations are open for president.
I proudly nominate Mayor Frank Navarro of Colton.
I'll second.
We have a motion and a second to nominate Frank Navarro in the city of Colton for president. We have a second.
Thank you. For Member Navarro as President, we have a motion by Member Rigsby and a second by Member Lilburn. Please state your votes for the record. Member Navarro?
Yes.
Member Rigsby?
Yes.
Member Rao?
Yes.
Member Lilburn?
Yes.
Member Tran?
Yes.
And Member Sanchez?
Yes.
Thank you. Congratulations to those nominated for those positions.
Thank you very much, everybody, for your continued support. I commit to you that I will continue doing the job that I've been doing, and I know that I'm going to drag a couple of other people with me on it, and you better be ready. Thank you. Item number 8, consider and discuss a potential change of the regularly scheduled commission meeting time. This one is slated for Mr. Huber, but I think Mr. Lewis is going to take this one.
I will fill in for Mr. Huber this evening. So there is a discussion item for your regularly scheduled meeting. Currently, it is, of course, scheduled for 5 o'clock at the fourth Wednesday of each month. Previously, it had been scheduled at 3 o'clock, once again for the fourth Wednesday of each month. I believe it was back in July of last year whenever that was changed by a resolution of the board. It's open for the board's discussion. If you would like to consider changing the time of the meeting, it will require a resolution, so if that should be your direction to do so, you would advise staff and your legal counsel, and Mr. Huber will no doubt be back then, to prepare a resolution to change the meeting time to whatever the board should direct this to take place.
Okay. Comments and questions on this item? Supervisor.
I'm having trouble with my microphone. I asked for this to be brought forward. Don't hate me. I enjoy you. I love when you can make the meetings. It is, I think, a lot easier on some of us to be able to make it earlier in the day. And judging from some of the sounds in the crowd, I think it might be a lot easier on staff to also have it earlier in the day. So for consideration by this body, I wanted to ask to bring that forward to see if we had consensus to move it earlier back to 3 o'clock for all of us. And I know it backed up to one of the San Bernardino City Council meetings and we were racing to get through this for your budget meeting. the last time.
Yeah, that one was just a special meeting, and it was weird circumstances, and we were running against the clock. I tend to like the 5 o'clock time frame just because it allows more public participation. This is a working town, and a lot of people can make a 5 o'clock meeting. They can't make a 3 o'clock meeting. I have a flexible schedule as long as I know ahead of time, but I want to make sure that any potential board members that might be on the future, a lot of them have 9 to 5 jobs, and they're going to have trouble making it to a 3 o'clock meeting. They can get out early, maybe by half an hour, but it's going to be a lot more difficult if the meeting's at 3 o'clock. So I'd like to stick with the 5 o'clock time, and I would say maybe we continue this item for a discussion to maybe this time next year, and see, kind of take the pulse on a more regular basis whether the time still works for us or not. So I'll make a motion to continue this item to 12 months out. Maybe this time next year we can have this discussion again and see if that's what the board would like to pursue.
Sure. You know what, Supervisor, I have to agree with you. I was not for the change to the 5 o'clock. However, I'm supportive of the 5 o'clock. Have we thought about maybe splitting the baby and going 4 o'clock? And so 5 o'clock, I'm not crazy about. 3 o'clock, would there be any consideration? I do like the 3 o'clock, but I'm willing to, if it's easier on everyone, maybe we can go down the middle.
Good idea.
Would that be something you would be interested in?
Yeah, as a 9 to 5 employee, it's actually 8 to 9 employee, 13 hours a day, but I can get off, and I appreciate being able to get off at 5, but I actually see patients until 5 o'clock, and I have to rush to get here by 5. And when I have to get here by 4 for executive committee meetings, I have to cancel a patient. And the ability to cancel 3 patients to come at 3 for those, and then it's just too difficult. I can't do it without taking vacation time. So for me, I prefer the 5 o'clock.
We do live stream this, and we've had it for a year to have the public come out and be heard, and I'm not sure we've seen an increase in any public participation. So there's that and we've tried it for a year. It would be much easier for me at 4 o'clock. So.
Like to motion for the 4 o'clock?
I know we have your motion. I'm going to second the motion for 4.
Okay. To me, it's really a matter of consensus of the board. To me, it doesn't make any difference. I can get here at 3 o'clock, I can get here at 4 o'clock, I can get here at 5 o'clock, I can get here at 6 o'clock. Doesn't make any difference to me, but I can get here. And I kind of agree with Councilmember Sanchez that sometimes we do have members in the audience that are working people that want to find out what's going on at the airport. Doing a 3 o'clock is a little bit, 4 o'clock maybe so, but I would like to stay at 5 o'clock. And if that makes anything, let's go down the board.
Is this
For the motion for 4 o'clock?
Yeah, I'm going to get consensus first.
Okay.
Oh, we
Yeah,
have a motion. I'm
We
sorry.
do.
That's okay. I don't mind if we get consensus, but I think you technically have to.
Yes, please be aware,
Nobody's called
what you're
for the
doing
vote.
is giving it by your consensus direction to staff
Direction
and
to
legal
this, to give
counsel
direction to
to
staff.
prepare a resolution, so that will not take effect for the next meeting.
Right.
At the direction of the commission, we will have a resolution prepared, a staff report at the next meeting. When if there is change going to take place, it will be at that point in time.
And that's what I was moving under. Sanchez?
Yeah, I'd like to keep it at 5 o'clock. There's constantly a change in the makeup of the board. Some of us go, some of us come back, and I know that a lot of this, the board is made up of elected officials throughout the area, and a lot of them work 9 to 5 jobs, and so I want to make sure that we keep it open to them as an option, and so I would prefer that we continue this maybe next year and see if the council still has the appetite to move the time or not.
Indicate your preference by time, please.
My preference is 3. I'll settle for 4, but if I have to go to 5,
5.
I'm happy to compromise at 4.
I'll go fine.
So it's a tie, so there's no change.
Okay, so we have a tie here, so I guess my question now for the commission itself, since this is not a vote that would change a meeting, do you wish us to bring it back and have a formal vote on that, or do you wish to?
Let's do this. Let's prepare a resolution to make a change, leave the time element blank, and let's bring it back for an actual vote. And let's get some more input from the commissioners that are up here, and then we'll move from there.
Okay, so that's what we will do. At your next meeting, there will be a resolution prepared to change the meeting time. It will not have a set time period in that, and then we can, the board can make a formal, the commission can make a formal decision at that time.
Yeah. I have one other comment that I'd like to make. Would anybody be opposed to changing the day of the meeting instead of Wednesday? How about a Thursday?
I can see it in Rigsby's eyes, Sunday afternoon.
I don't care the day of the week.
Okay.
As long as it doesn't interfere. There are a lot of Thursday, the fourth week, no conflicts, not on Thursdays.
I think many of us appointed to this board are put into this position because that fits our schedule from our council.
Okay. So then bring it back in the resolution.
We will have it on your agenda for your next August
Meeting
commission meeting.
day and time, or meeting day is okay, but the meeting time.
The meeting date, as in the fourth Wednesday month, will remain the same. The time will be subject to the decision of the commission.
The decision of the
next
board
meeting.
after they vote. Okay.
And
That
staff has a resolution template for that, so it's
Okay.
okay.
All right. Moving on to item number number 9. Approve the purchase of 2 Ford Explorer police interceptors in an amount not to exceed $106,588.16. Mr. Dennis Hauser, please.
And I'd like to introduce Bob Curtis, who preceded Mr. Hauser and has been involved in this as well. So thank
Okay,
you,
Mr.
Bob.
Curtis. Thank you.
Yeah, good evening, Commissioners. Before you is a request to purchase 2 new police interceptors to be used for security vehicles. They would not be extras. They would replace 2 aging vehicles that we have that have reached the end of their useful life. Money for this purchase has been approved in our current budget, and we have gone out and requested competitive bids, and Fairview Ford is the lowest competitive bid that we received.
Okay, comments or questions from commissioners on this item? Seen?
Move to approve.
I'll second.
Okay. Councilmember Sanchez moved to approve. Mayor Lilburn, seconds. Mayor Clerk.
Thank you. We have a motion by Member Sanchez and a second by Member Lilburn. Please state your votes for the record. Member Navarro?
Yes.
Member Rigsby?
Yes.
Member Rao?
Yes.
Member Lilburn?
Yes.
Member Tran?
Yes.
And Member Sanchez?
Yes.
Thank you.
Thank you. Moving on to item number 10. This is to review and adopt the State of California mandated workplace violence prevention plan. Ms. Pritchard, please.
Thank you. As I'm sure you are all aware by now, in January of this past year, the state passed Senate Bill 553, titled the Workplace Violence Prevention Act, with the goal of mitigating risks associated with workplace violence. SB 553 has 3 main requirements: a written workplace violence prevention plan, which is presented for approval today; active involvement of staff in implementing the plan, which has and will continue to be done; and regular workplace violence prevention training to all employees, which will commence following the adoption of this plan. To ensure the policy is implemented correctly and consistently, the draft presented today is an exact replica of that was presented to the IVDA board earlier this month. And I would like to note that the harassment prevention training, your mandated requirements will be fulfilled through your respective agencies. You will not be required to complete this training on our behalf. But that concludes my report, and I'm happy to answer any questions.
Move for approval.
Okay. Mayor Tran moves for approval of item number 10. Chair will entertain a second.
Second.
Member Rigsby, seconds.
Thank you. We have a motion by Member Tran and a second by Member Rigsby. Please state your votes for the record. Member Navarro?
Yes.
Member Rigsby?
Yes.
Member Rao? Yes. Member Lilburn?
Yes.
Member Tran?
Yes.
And Member Sanchez?
Yes.
Thank you.
Thank you. Moving on to item 11. This is consider and discuss a report of annual business plan progress. Jillian.
Thank you, sir. Good evening again, Commissioners. I have the privilege of presenting the San Bernardino International Airport Authority's annual report for 2023. This story map presentation will be made available on the SBIAA website and is a dynamic presentation as staff will continue to update information as projects are completed. Comprised of the cities of Colton, Highland, Loma Linda, San Bernardino, and the County of San Bernardino, the San Bernardino International Airport Authority oversees the development and reuse of the aviation portions of the former Norton Air Force Base, spanning approximately 1,300 acres, now known as the SBD International Airport. SBD International Airport is certificated by the Federal Aviation Administration under Part 139 as a primary, non-hub, public use, commercial service airport supporting a variety of aviation business activities and services to the public. Key businesses at SBD International Airport includes passenger service, air cargo, business aviation, MROs, and general aviation. Following the successful launch of passenger service to San Francisco and Provo, Utah, Breeze Airways expanded passenger services at San Bernardino International Airport with a seasonal route to Las Vegas and Hartford, Connecticut in February of 2023. San Bernardino International Airport serves as a base for UPS, FedEx, and Amazon Air, three of the largest air cargo carriers in the United States. Luxair SBD is a premier fixed-base operator located at the San Bernardino International Airport. They serve a diverse clientele, including business executives, celebrities, and private individuals, and support all airfield tenants with fueling and ground support services. Maintenance, repair, and overhaul businesses at SBD accommodate the needs of SBD's growing commercial and corporate customer base. MROs currently at SBD International Airport include Unical Aviation, AeroPro, and Executive Jet Maintenance. General aviation tenants are integral to the San Bernardino International Airport, not only for their economic impact, but also for their role in supporting aviation services, education, emergency response, and community engagement. The 2023 recap of the SBD International Airport activity is shown in the graphic, with total airport operations exceeding 48,000 and landed weight of air cargo aircraft reaching 230,000 tons. Over 50,000 passengers passed through the domestic terminal last year, and SBD International Airport reached 25 million gallons in fuel sales. By the end of 2023, in partnership with the Inland Valley Development Agency, a total of 18,101 new jobs were created. The partnership continues to replace and exceed the 10,000 jobs lost due to the closure of the Norton Air Force Base, resulting in an economic output of approximately $4.9 billion. Through grant funding from the Federal Aviation Administration, Federal Economic Development Administration, and the Inland Valley Development Agency, SBIAA continues to invest in airport infrastructure improvements. Oh no, this is not the right graphic. Here we go. In May of 2022, the Commission approved the award of a construction contract for the Runway 624 Joint and Spall Repair Project to provide for the reconstructing of expansion joints between each of the concrete panels throughout Runway 624. The project included repair of minor concrete spalls and repainting the runway. This project was completed in April of 2023. In May of 2022, the Commission approved the award of a construction contract for the Taxiway Shoulder Improvements Project to provide for the reconstructing of asphalt shoulders along portions of taxiways Alpha, Alpha 1, Delta, and Echo, and restriping associated taxiway markings in accordance with FAA requirements. This project was completed in April of 2023. In May of 2023, the Commission approved the award of a construction contract for the Fuel Farm Internal Floating Roof Project to design and build a new aluminum internal floating roof in order to reduce evaporative loss of Jet A fuel, resulting in the reduction of carbon emissions from the fuel storage tank. This project was completed in December of 2023. And these maps are meant to be interactive. There seems to be a little bit of some technological difficulties, but when you look at this on our website, you'll be able to slide through and see the images of this floating roof being constructed. In October of 2023, the Commission approved the award of a construction contract for the terminal parking lot improvements project to address improvements at the domestic terminal parking lot. Improvements included the installation of fencing, ceramic markers, pavement signage, and construction of a path of travel in the west lot. This project was completed in March of 2024. And the Landing by San Manuel. This project is located south of 3rd Street between Victoria and Central Avenues, just north of SBD International Airport. This project continues a multi-decade partnership with San Manuel, including close coordination and land exchange processes with local and federal organizations. The award-winning development is substantially complete and anchored by San Manuel's tenant, Flexport. SBD offers unique filming opportunities with its modern terminal facilities and diverse aviation settings. SBD continues to be utilized for many commercials and feature film productions. In 2023, the SBD International Airport was utilized for film productions such as Gucci and Kia. The San Bernardino International Airport Authority has partnered with a variety of schools as well as the FAA and pilot outreach programs. SBIAA continues to partner with the San Bernardino Regional Emergency Training Center, which is the only facility in the western United States that provides live airport training. These graphics. There we go. Live airport firefighter training as required by the FAA. The training center meets the demanding curriculum for airport and rescue firefighting at commercial airports throughout the nation and the world. And the UAS Center at SBD International Airport provides consulting on drone policy, standardization and integration, as well as product evaluation. It offers comprehensive drone pilot training, a site for test pilots, and product demonstrations, and they also partner with public and private sectors in support of regional workforce development initiatives. SBD is home to one of the nation's largest United States Forest Service aerial tanker bases. Pilots and crews operate specialized aircraft from SBD to support fire crews throughout Southern California during wildfire events. San Bernardino County Sheriff Aviation Unit also operates a fleet of helicopters and fixed-wing aircraft from its base at SBD, allowing crews to navigate remote areas in San Bernardino County, including mountainous terrain and desert areas during emergencies. Aircraft rescue and firefighting services, the picture you see to your right, provided by the San Bernardino County Fire Protection District, are crucial for responding to emergencies involving aircraft. These teams are specially trained and equipped to handle the unique challenges and risks associated with aircraft emergencies and the SBD International Airport. And we move on to community engagement. The SBD Good Neighbor Program. Our graphics are not working with our presentation right now, but I do encourage the audience and members of our commission to please look at this on our website. The award-winning SBD Good Neighbor Program is an outreach program that allows the airport to understand, educate, and improve its community. This program informs residents of operational changes at the airport and how those changes will benefit the entire community. It also provides a two-way communication channel. As the airport shares information, community members can provide positive and constructive feedback. This program ensures SBD International Airport remains a good neighbor by committing to a continuous dialogue and sharing up-to-date information. And we come to Norton, who is our wildlife management dog, who is specially trained to keep SBD International Airport safe by reducing the risk of wildlife-related incidents without harming the natural habitat. In 2023, Norton joined social media as @SBDFlyDog on Facebook, Instagram, and X. The community may now follow along on Norton's airfield adventures while also learning about the important role a wildlife management dog plays in keeping the airfield safe for all users. SBD International Airport is committed to fostering a vibrant community through comprehensive outreach initiatives focused on business development, enhancing passenger service, and promoting aviation careers. SBD is dedicated to inspiring the next generation of aviation professionals by promoting educational pathways and career opportunities in the dynamic field of aviation. Our outreach efforts are designed to strengthen community ties, empower local businesses, and cultivate a skilled workforce, reinforcing SBD's pivotal role as a hub of growth and opportunity in our region. In closing, we would like to thank the commission members, staff, and community members for your support and contribution to a great 2023 year, and we look forward to continuing to work with each and every one of you. Thank you so much.
Thank you, Madam Clerk. And it goes without saying, Mike, you and your staff and support of this commission that sits up here, we've accomplished a lot in 2023 and look forward to the same accomplishments in 2024 and moving forward. Thank you to all of you. Item number 12, consider and discuss the SBD Good Neighbor Program second quarter 2024 report. Mr. Gibbs, please.
Thank you, Mayor. Each quarter we report out on the Good Neighbor Program, and here to walk us through the report and all the activities that have taken place over the last quarter is Miss Rosemary Barnes with Aviatrix.
Thank you. Can you hear me okay? And by the way, we are now in our 4th year of the Good Neighbor Program, so congratulations. It's been really just a great model for U.S. airports. And we talked to a lot of airports that are wanting a program just like this, so congrats. So Mayor Navarro, commissioners, and Mike and Mark, welcome back, Mark. Thanks for having me back to share the results of the second quarter noise comments for 2024. Just get my bearings here. Okay, so it was a very, spring has definitely sprung. We're going to 2 pages here with the developments for the outreach in the community. And those included, of course, publishing the spring newsletter, which we love to put out there and continue to share those individual articles and promote subscriptions. We continue to promote Breeze Airways service, their low fares, as well as the airport's easy and affordable parking and traveler amenities. We talked earlier about the firefighters, the aerial firefighters. Fire season came early to California this year in the first week in June, so we notified the community about that the tanker base had been activated earlier than normal this year. We worked with the FAA to complete and commission some new flight procedures for runway 624. And second page, again, out and about in the community quite a bit in the spring with sponsorships and engagement and being out there supporting the Redlands Bicycle Classic, being out with students and educators at Smith Tech Elementary, Monterey Elementary, and on campus at Cal State San Bernardino. And then, of course, supporting the Inland Empire Tourism Regional Summit. And then Mike shared his expertise on a panel with the Southern California E-Commerce and Logistics Summit. So just a very busy spring out and about and making sure the airport was recognizing all the good things that are happening in the community and being supportive of all that. Okay, let's do the numbers here. We are going to April here. In April, we received 33 noise comments from 8 distinct households. In May, we had 13 noise comments filed by 6 households. And in June, there were 24 noise comments filed by 6 households. Okay, overall, for year over year for the quarter, there was an increase in noise comments received, while the number of households filing comments decreased. Here's the total numbers for the second quarter. We had a total of 70 noise comments received from 12 distinct households. And of these 70 comments, 64% of those were received from 5 households in Highland, and 21% were received by one household in San Bernardino. Here you see the top 5 commenters for the quarter. 89% of the total comments were received from 5 households in Highland, San Bernardino, and Redlands. Here you see the year-over-year data for the second quarter, and it shows that comments increased by about 60%, and we had 6 fewer households filing comments. Here is the comment breakout by aircraft category, concern, and filing method. And for this quarter, we had jet activity as the most prevalent report. And of note, we continue to see the trend of reports of drone activity. For the type of concern, flying over the home as well as frequency of flights they were the most prevalent concerns. And then 3/4 of the commenters, we received their comment via the website, the online form. Here is that same information in table format, the comment by concern and aircraft category. And the majority of people did not want the airport to respond to their comment. They were happy to be able to share the information, but about 70% of those comments said that they did not need to hear back from the airport. And here's the heat map showing, which is pretty typical, that most of the comments come from neighbors located between 5 and 10 miles from the airport. And then to wrap this up, quarter over quarter, there were 47 more comments from an equal number of households, whereas year over year, we did have an increase of 25 more comments, but they came from 6 fewer households. So the year over year increase in comments is attributed to the airport's ongoing jet aircraft operations, as well as the airport's outreach, its engagement with the community. It's giving the community members a resource to share their comments, their questions, and to learn more about what's happening at SBD. And again, just congrats, 4 years into this program. The Good Neighbor program continues to serve as an important community resource. And it's also here for neighbors. It's here for pilots and for aircraft owners and operators. And that completes my report, and if there's any questions.
Thank you, Rosemary. Questions, please?
Sure.
I do. Thank you for your report. Absolutely. I always appreciate it. Unfortunately, Highland is high up there ranking with the comments. So I appreciate you giving our residents an opportunity to speak to you and voice their concerns. I had a concern about the drone increase. Is that something new?
No, actually, I mean, it's just part of that, and it's not your UAS center, in case I do get that question, because we, as you know, have that pre-approved with the tower, so it stays within the confined flight plan that they've got. But that just speaks to the proliferation of the technology and the adoption out there of private individuals that are using it for either commercial or their own personal purposes. The fact is that you do have a UAS center here at the airport educating everybody that wants to know safe, proper drone flight. And the good news is the tower is engaged with all of these when they're in the airspace, and those are obviously in the airspace. So awareness is better, and more is coming out, not just on detection, but deterrence in those spaces. And thankfully, your center's at the forefront of that.
Thank you.
Any other comments? Rosemary, where's the concentration of the drones around mostly?
I don't have the specific data. Mark, are you able to speak to that, the specifics of that?
I'm sorry, could you repeat the question?
How widespread is the drone usage throughout the area of the airport?
So anything that flies within our airspace has to be strictly coordinated with the control tower. And we have some clearly defined areas where they normally fly on the airport, but it's really confined on the airport. So anything that flies over neighborhoods, I mean, the airspace extends out roughly 4.5 miles to the west. We don't get a lot of requests out there. Most of ours are close in. But anyone that wants to fly within our airspace has to coordinate with the tower. Otherwise, they're going to get somebody knocking on their door.
Okay. And we are able to identify those that are in violation?
Yeah, most recently, the regulations on drones has changed for the better, where they have to have what's called remote ID, and they actually are registered with an IN number similar to an aircraft.
That helps. To a tail number.
That helps keep eyes and ears and awareness out there.
Okay, all right. Any other comments, questions? Okay, Rosemary, thank you very much.
Thanks, everybody. Appreciate your attention.
Moving on to item number 13, review status of action plan for San Bernardino International Airport Authority through December the 31st, 2024. Mr. Burrows.
So quietly up there, you'll see airport terminal enhancements. Obviously, you didn't see any large purchases on your agenda today, and I want to thank Mr. Gibbs and Mr. Barrow for coordinating on that. Our teams, including your talented maintenance team, are making some nice TLC touch-ups to both the domestic and the international terminal, and I would just want to thank everybody for their collaboration on that. They're doing it the old-fashioned way with some hard work and elbow grease, and it's greatly appreciated. Going into next month, though, we're going to continue that. The FAA Access Road project is well underway, performing quite nicely, and we'll have an update and report on that for you next month. And last but not least, I really want to thank Jillian, Melissa, and Amber for their collaboration on the new story map. For many of them, in fact all of them, this Esri story map software was new, and they dove straight in and had just done a fantastic job. So please check it out on the website, give us your feedback, and kudos to the team. Great job. Thanks.
Okay. Thank you, sir. Any open session public comments, Madam Clerk?
No, sir.
Thank you very much. Moving on, excuse me. Commission member comments. Mr. Sanchez? Ms. Lilburn?
I just wanted to say Highlands State of the City is August 29th. We welcome all of you to attend, and thanks to San Bernardino Natural Resource Center for hosting it.
Thank you. Mr. Rigsby? Supervisor? Mayor Tran? None from me, other than to thank all of you for work well done.
Thank you.
There being no other business to attend to,